I'll have to guess on what Darrin is for his introduction. I know he's an attorney, possibly a movie star, maybe famous, maybe we just don't know. Maybe he's a famous voice actor in children's cartoons. He could be. The title of his speech today is Giving a Presentation. Please welcome Darrin.
You've been called on to give a presentation. You can feel the butterflies going in your stomach already. That's mainly because you're facing the unknown. If you think about a speech logically, then you can address your fears and give a simple, effective speech that will wow your audience. This will be an overview of how to give a presentation. Later modules will delve into each aspect in detail. The first assignment when you're giving a speech is know your task. Are you giving a eulogy? Are you giving a speech at a wedding, giving the bride away? Are you giving a presentation at work where you're called on to evaluate new software? If you know the assignment ahead of time, that takes a lot of the fear out. If you're called on just to give a general speech to warm up a crowd, that's much different than giving a toast at a wedding. The second assignment, know your audience. If you're speaking to a group of Democrats, they tend to be much more liberal than a group of Republicans. You want to slant your speech towards them unless you want to get booed out of the audience. Or if you like Donald Trump and you like to be booed. Similarly, the age of your audience. If you're speaking to a group of veterans of the Vietnam War, the way that you would address them would be much different than if you're speaking to a group of teenagers at a career day at a local high school. After you know what you're going to be speaking about, who you're speaking to, where will you be speaking? Will you be speaking in a large ballroom with amplifying equipment, or will you be speaking in a small room to 5 or 7 people? If you're speaking to a small group of people, that could change your speech. You might be able to have feedback from your audience, call on individual members. If you're speaking to 1,000 people, that would be much different because you won't be able to have interactions with people, asking them, have you ever done this? Have you ever done that? How many people have done this? Know how many people you're speaking to and where you're speaking at. Remember, when you're speaking to an audience, you want to gauge the speech appropriately to the audience. When you're speaking to Democrats, you might want to be more liberal. If you're speaking at a wedding, it's going to be much different than if you're speaking at a bachelor party. Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, even at a bachelor party. Once you have the general framework of where you're going to be speaking, you want to start working on the speech itself. If you remember high school, a 3-part essay. That's a simple framework for any speech. The introduction. Think of a funnel. Start general, work your way down into the specifics. An example, you're giving a speech for your employer on new software. You start out generally, welcoming everybody to the meeting, go into what your task is, then the software that you're evaluating, and then either the pros, cons, how to use it, what your specific assignment is. Tell the audience what you're going to tell them. Public speaking differs greatly from a written manual. If it's in writing, the reader can go back if they're confused. Public speaking, once you say it, many listeners, it's out their ear. They have their iPhone, they have other people they're talking to. After the introduction, you go to the body. The body of the speech are the points that you mentioned in the introduction. Think of them as separate paragraphs on the page. Topic Go into the topic, summarize. Tell the audience what you're going to tell them for that topic. Tell them, and then repeat what you just told them. Move on to the next topic. It can be the 3-part essay. The classic in high school has 3 different topics within the speech. You can vary that. It could be 1, it could be 5. Remember, constantly repeat, repeat, repeat. Re-emphasize what you've said. Don't use the same words, but go back. And that helps fill time too, because you're just doing the same subject over and over in a different manner. The conclusion, tell the audience what you told them. They will have forgotten already the first thing that you talked about, I guarantee it. If you remember the key rules, know who you're talking to, know where you're talking, and know why you're talking, you can give an effective presentation. Mr. Prospector.